You are back on an episode of Today's Takeaway, a collection of strangest things on Earth. Are you a fan of Chinese figures of the feudal dynasty? If yes, a little too much for you if you watch the following 7 most shameful deaths of Chinese emperors. Still there to watch? Let's go.
Number 1. Dying for getting hit by a bronze cauldron. King Dao Li of Qin, born 329 BC and died 307 BC, was the ruler of the Qin state during the spring and autumn period. King Dao Li, or King Dao of Qin, was strong, but he liked doing things differently. He reigned during the most flourishing period of Qin and had a bright future ahead. But there was this one time he came across a huge bronze cauldron in Luoyang. This heavy cauldron was lifted by Meng Yue. Of course, the king did not let it pass easily and insisted on lifting the bronze cauldron himself, and he did, but couldn't withstand the over 100-kilogram cauldron for long, which fell heavily on his legs. Due to the poor medical conditions at that time, King Dao passed away just a few days later. Number 2. Death for immortality. Qin Shi Huang was the first ever emperor of Qin, and was also the first emperor of a unified China. During his reign, he had built many famous architectural structures, including the Great Wall, but not many people know that this emperor was in poor health. After he ascended the throne, he only trusted himself to deal with all the business and affairs of the dynasty. There were times when he had to approve 60 kilograms of bamboo scroll documents. Until everything was finished, his emperor would not rest. This is how Qin Shi Huang ruined his own health, and eventually he had meningitis and epilepsy. Realizing this, Qin Shi Huang nurtured an obsession with medicines for eternal life. He had his subordinates search for a magical cure that can help him literally live forever, and then Mercury found him. Except for the fact that this toxin is the very cause of his death, according to researchers. Some historical sources said that Shi Huang had taken pills made from mercury, hoping to become an immortal. It did not turn out as he wanted. Number 3. Dying from falling to a pit of feces. Duke Jin of Jin ruled Jin from 599 BC to 581 BC. FYI, Jin is the vassal state of the Chu in the spring and autumn period. In 582 BC, after a shaman told Duke Jin that he could not have new wheat, the Duke ordered servants to make a huge pot of porridge, and then summoned the shaman to the palace and scolded that you told me to not have new wheat. Look at this. Isn't this new wheat? And then ordered his men to behead the shaman. Duke Jin of Jin really wanted to have the porridge at that time, but he had a stomachache and rushed to the bathroom. And he was in such a hurry, he fell into the pit of feces and died there. I hope they did not write this cause of death on his tomb, don't you agree? Number 4. Dying of being pressured on with pillows. Emperor Xiao of Jin, Sima Yao, born 362, died 396, was the 9th emperor of the Eastern Jin dynasty. Much like any other emperors, Sima Yao really enjoyed drinking. He was the last true emperor of the Eastern Jin dynasty, as his children were all puppets when powers fell into the hands of regents and the military. On one day in 396, Sima Yao and consort Zhang were drinking at the summer palace. They were both drunk and started fighting. As he could not win the argument against Zhang, Emperor Xiao said, "Don't you think that because I favor you, you can look down on me like that? My harem has so many women, and one day I'll get rid of you and find a younger one." After those cruel words, he went to bed. However, one's mindless words can strike a mindful one. Zhang consort was furious. She forced some female servants to help her suffocate Sima Yao with pillows. Number 5. Dying of a cheating wife. Emperor Xiao Huangdi in northern Wei Tubahong, born 467, died 499, was a politician, military strategist, and reformer of the ethnic people. He was also the 7th emperor of the northern Wei dynasty in Chinese history. He was known for pioneering syncretization and governmental centralization to rule a multi-ethnic country more easily. While Emperor Xiaowen was busy with dynasty work, his consort was having an affair with a eunuch. It was known by everyone in the palace but him, until one day a princess who was forced by the consort to get married told Emperor Xiaowen everything. The emperor was left in immense shock when he learned someone as powerful as he was cheated on for so many years. His mental and physical health quickly deteriorated, and not long after that, Emperor Xiaowen was seriously sick and passed away. Number 6. Dying from famine and thirst as the result of alcoholism. In the history of China, there were many emperors who were alcoholics, but Emperor Wen Xuan of Northern Qi, Gao Yang, was the only one who died from it. Wen Xuan was the first emperor of the Northern Qi dynasty. He ruled from 550 to 559. Under his reign, there were notable developments in military, tax balancing, and corruption reduction by granting desirable benefits to the mandarins. Before he became the emperor, Gao Yang had been a solemn person, but after he sat on the throne, turned into an alcoholic. Alcohol gets Emperor Wen Xuan too excited that he would climb onto the roofs and swing on the beam. Due to his excessive drinking, Emperor Wen Xuan got anorexia, which means he wouldn't eat or drink, and alcohol alone could not keep him alive that long. Number 8. Drowning in the Imperial Garden. The Tianqi Emperor Zhu Youjiao was the 16th emperor of the Ming Dynasty, ruling China from 1620 to 1627. Being enthroned at nearly 16 years old, he was manipulated by the court eunuch Wei Zhongxian and supporters for 7 years, which led to the partial conflict between two sides in the dynasty. Although he was the emperor, Zhu Youjiao was playful and enjoyed sculpting words. His hobby eventually killed him. One day he crafted a wooden boat and rowed it to the middle of the pond in the Imperial Garden. Unfortunately, the boat flipped and he was drowned. Emperors of the Qing dynasty who died from dust and smoke. In a mysterious book on medical information unwritten in records, a doctor revealed that there were 10 emperors of the Qing dynasty, including Kangxi and Tianlong, to have passed away due to air pollution. In the Qing dynasty, Beijing was chosen to be the capital, the center of the country, but the population density here was getting higher every day, and in the winter, people burned coal to stay warm. This accumulated dust over time. Beijing also had 3 sides facing the mountains, so the fogs and the dust were condensed and were hard to disperse. Statistics show that through time, all emperors of the Qing dynasty passed away at the end of winter, the beginning of spring. King Shuzhi III, Zhao Guang on the 14th of January, and the rest died in February. Emperors such as Gangxi, Dongzhi, Guangxu, Xuanchong all passed away in cold winter days. It was obvious that the air, filled with dust along with the harsh weather, were the king killers. Despite medical care, the rulers got sick and passed away.
And that's it for today's takeaway. What do you think? Which one wowed you the most? Let us know in the comments section below. And don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share our video to support our next product. Thanks for watching and see you next time.